Lira City ranks 6th among districts with the highest HIV infections in the country. It is also important to note that 600 people got new HIV infections in 2023. That is according to 2023 HIV fact sheet. Lira City has an estimated population of 246,437 people. And because of this, the health experts in Lira City have identified some of the major key drivers of HIV infections in Lira City. And today on Lao News Channel, I am going to share with you some of these drivers. Remember to leave your comments below this video so that we can share how can we mitigate this vice. Number one key driver is poverty. There is high level of poverty among households in our sub-region and also among the young people, including adolescent girls. This put the life of the people at a very high risk of contracting HIV, especially those who live within the city here. Another key driver, contrary, is wealth and need to spend money. There are people who have money and they would want to spend their money. And people spend money in different ways. There are people who spend money through investment, but there are also people who spend money on leisure. There are people who spend money on leisure, but responsibly. There are also people who spend money on leisure irresponsibly. So, the fact is, need to spend money is also one of the key drivers that have been identified by the experts. Another driver is depression. According to experts, when people are depressed, they would want to do something to make them feel better or to relieve them from that state of being depressed. They want to feel happy, they want to enjoy, they want to feel free. Some of them think of going for sex, and when they go for sex, some don't even take cautions and end up doing what they actually would not have done. So the experts have also identified depression as one of the key drivers. Another one is alcohol or alcoholism. When you drink so much, most people, when they drink so much, their reasoning, their level of reasoning is always brought low, and their level of excitement is increased. So they end up doing certain things that are very risky when they are actually not very conscious about it. Another key factor that have also been identified by experts is massage. These massage parlors you see around town has also been identified as one of the key drivers of HIV infections in the city. So when you go to be massaged, mean what has taken you there, because just like in Kampala, where massage are used to actually lure men to buy prostitutes, it's also happening in Lira here. May not be whole, but that is what experts have said. Let's listen from Lira City, the HIV focal point person of Lira City, what he has to say about these drivers.
Another key driver which was noted is the alcohol intake. This is what has been very silent. We have not been focusing on this. But the more people drink, the more your judgment is impaired. As they say goes, when you take one bottle, the lady is still very ugly. 2-3 bottles, she becomes very beautiful. Even the queen, you begin appreciating and all that. Then another key driver, which was hidden and silent, is depression.
Another key driver that has been identified is need to have children. This is especially among the young women, young ladies. It has actually been found that some of these ladies engage in sexual activities that are unsafe just because they want to conceive and have children, even with multiple partners. But some of them are even HIV positive, and they don't know that there is a better way you can conceive while not infecting your spouse. They don't know that. Let's hear from Professor Komakech of Lira University.
We asked them about disclosure, whether they have disclosed their HIV positive status to their male partners. Majority of them disclosed. It was only about 27% who did not disclose. We went ahead and investigated what are the drivers, what are the things that make these ladies to engage in unprotected sexual intercourse with their partners, even after knowing they are living with HIV/AIDS. One thing that came out very clearly is the desire to bear children. These people say they also want to produce.
When we talk about the drivers, we actually begin to think about the hotspots. There are very many hotspots, physical hotspots that you know within the city here. I am not going to mention, but also the focus should not only be on the hotspots. Anywhere, any place, depending on what you're doing and whom you are meeting, that place can actually turn out to be a hotspot to you. So when you look at the happening places, many other places, there are also some people who are saying when you go to salon, the way they, after washing your face or before washing your face, washing your head. There's a way they massage your face, they massage your shoulders. There's a way they do it that makes you feel sexually aroused. There is also concern about that. You can also leave your comment below about that. If we can actually treat salons, such salons to be the hotspots, leave your comment about that. I am not saying they are hotspots, but we can discuss about that. So when we look at all these now, I have looked at all these drivers and these hotspots, and I've identified some of the solutions that could try to mitigate some of these challenges. Number one, the challenge of poverty that sometimes stems from the households, or even can be caused by laziness, and this laziness that has led to poverty can actually lead to prostitution and other unsafe practices. So the challenge of poverty can be mitigated by hard work. If you can still work hard and you are healthy, you work and make your money. You work and make your money. Even if you are not educated, there are very many people in Lira City here who are not educated, but they are working. At least on a daily basis, they can put food on their tables. They are not prostitutes, they are not thieves, they are working. And also non-governmental organizations and the government can also come up with some livelihood projects to support the poor families and the young people and different categories of people who are poor in the city here and also in the surrounding areas, because these people who are crowded, people who are many, people who are migrating in the city here are actually not the natives. They come from the surrounding districts. So livelihood projects can also help to alleviate poverty to some level. There is also need for us to use the preventive measures. You talk about abstinence, you talk about being faithful, you talk about PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis or post-exposure prophylaxis, those measures. There is also need for the stakeholders to fight hard to ensure that we eliminate mother-to-child HIV transmission. This is very important. In other districts, I hear from the experts that some are not now receiving cases of mother-to-child HIV transmission. But in Lira, it is still at 3%. There's need to put effort towards that. Everybody, starting from the individual basis, should work hard to ensure that the goal 2030 is achieved. that is ensuring that HIV is no longer a threat or a health threat in the year 2030. There's also need to avoid unsafe practices, even unsafe places, the hotspots we are talking about. Lilian Grace Oshare, the deputy town clerk of Lira City, said something about the gym as well. Now brings me to the question that John the Baptist asked people. When you go to the wilderness, what do you go to see? When you go to the gym, what do you go to see or do? When you go to the massage parlor, what do you go to see or to do? Even the saloon. Let's hear from her.
There is open nakedness in these gyms and massage parlors, and yet it is intergenerational when we enter there. Old women with their body shapes, the stomach is there, the bum is there, and the breasts are all over the place. They are also in small sukkahs, walking naked. Before young boys, then the old men also come with their big tummies and their big ring pin in the head, small legs. They are all naked there, without shame. And the devil will help you to focus in those areas of the genitalia. The men will be focusing on the nyash, the ladies will be focusing on the engine to see if the magazine is actually worthy. What ends up now? 2 times, 3 times you exchange contacts, the next time you are engaging in a relationship.
Living with HIV in Lira district, Martin Ongora, is not pleased with the way some ladies who work in the salon are handling their clients. Let's hear from him.
They provoke your, because we are human beings, they provoke your sexual feelings. And then you find at the end of the day, what Hillary had mentioned, that even if she was a ugly girl, she now begin to become look so beautiful and so attractive. Where at the end of the day, you end up going, and then you.
On the 6th of September, there was a stakeholders engagement meeting organized by Uganda AIDS Commission at Gracious Palace Hotel in Lira City. And one of the issues that came out from that meeting is the issue of stigma, which is still high among some group of people even up to now. It was noted with concern that there is still high level of stigma in some secondary schools, and the administrations of most of the secondary schools are not providing a very favorable environment to learners who are HIV positive, and it is a call to them to ensure that they actually provide a favorable environment for persons or the students living with HIV. Mr. Ongora also warned against stigma. He warned against calling the people who are living with HIV victims. They are not victims. They are called people living with HIV/AIDS, but not victims.
Mostly have heard words where people refer to persons living with HIV like victims. I'm not afraid to tell you, President, that that is not a very kind word. I'm not a victim because I did not look for it. But somehow, somewhere, I got myself there. So, those words also, let's be mindful. Victims. Because if you refer to, I don't know what the dictionary word of victim would mean. I will not want to go into that because Professor is here, they understand it better. When we are to analyze that word victim. So,
Thank you so much for watching this special edition. I am Denish Ongora. This is Lao News channel. If you have not yet subscribed to Lao News channel, please do it today. Thank you so much. Love you. May God take care of you. God bless you.
Thank you for watching Lango News channel. Please subscribe for more updates.